Hello everyone, my name is Not Markiplier and welcome back to Not Five Nights at Freddy's. Instead we're going to be reacting to 3 true 4th of July horror stories animated. Now, there's a reason for this, which is because if you already know, today is the 4th of July. Yeah, we're probably not getting any sleep tonight depending on how loud the fireworks are. But, either way, if I get to see a light show, I'll be happy. So, let's just get into it. Also, go check out IMR Scary Tales. Go and like their stuff. Go and show them all support. They make pretty scary animations. And now let's get into it.
Every 4th of July, Uncle Sam visited our house. Waking up in the morning, I would find my dad standing near the table, lecturing me on how to behave.
Now remember, I don't want you talking to him unless I'm around. You hear? Yes, Dad.
Dang, y'all are malnourished. But at the same time, you look awful. Bro, you got the Peter Griffin chin.
I'm serious. Now tuck in your shirt. He's here.
The front door swung open and
Oh, that is not him.
there stood Uncle Sam, dressed unusually.
Happy 4th of July!
Ain't no way your parents would allow this. Like, nah, bro, I'm calling the dang police.
He was really proud to be an American, so every 4th of July he would wear a suit designed like the national flag. He would match that with his tall hat, which looked even more bizarre.
Now,
Uncle Tommy said, turning to me and lowering himself to a knee.
where's my hug at? Been a while since I saw you last.
I took a couple of steps toward him and leaned in for a hug. His tight embrace made me uncomfortable, and I let out a light whimper.
Why do you always see you wearing full sleeves?
He asked, tugging at my long sleeves.
Bro, you're one to talk. You're wearing full sleeves.
Well, they're my dad's favorite. Oh, you poor thing.
He then turned towards my dad and said,
Let the boy have some fun, Jack. Don't you remember how much fun you used to have when you were his age?
I saw my dad's face turn red. He yelled at me.
Don't you have some chores to finish up?
I knew that was my cue to leave, so I shuffled off to my room.
So, Uncle
The sun set and the house
He's
was
Uncle
set up
Sam.
with 4th of July decorations. I came out of my room when I saw my aunt's car pull up outside. A firecracker lit up the sky as I saw my cousins rushing into the house. We 3 hugged each other and were so excited.
Oh, y'all's
Uncle Sam was watching us with a creepy smile.
You boys are so cute together. I wish I could just eat you all up.
Boys, go play upstairs. We will call you when it's time.
We all fled the scene hearing our aunt's voice. Every time Uncle Sam came, my dad and aunt's behavior just changed.
Oh, dang.
I don't
red,
even
white,
get why
red.
they even invited him if they hate Uncle Sam
Green?
so much. But on that 4th of July, things took a dark turn. I was playing a video game with my cousin Noah and Devin when Noah said,
Mom saved me from his hug today. Hell yeah, dude. What about you? I bet he gave you tons of hugs, huh? Shut up.
they went quiet.
Frozen, I would say the same thing. In fact, I might just slap you right on the face. You with your weird ass chin. Like, what up with your chin? What up with your chin, too? What up? This is the only guy here who has a normal chin. This guy's got the Nikocado avocado-like chin. Same thing here. You just got a full-on, like, circle there.
One thing was clear. We too hated Uncle Sam. When we went down for dinner, we were shocked. Uncle Sam was sitting on the couch with a big frown like he had been scolded by his mom. My dad was packing his bag. My mom and aunt were sitting at the dinner table.
What's wrong, guys? Nothing. Uncle Sam's got an emergency and he'll be leaving soon.
Good.
Right after dinner.
I could sense tension, but too many questions would get me in trouble, so I remained quiet. Anyways, we were happy that our weird uncle was soon leaving.
Come, let's eat dinner.
Our aunt called us and we listened. Uncle Sam got up and stormed into the basement. 5 minutes later, he came out with his coat and walking stick. He snatched his suitcase from Dad and spoke to him in a grunting voice.
You shouldn't have crossed me, Jack. You have to pay a big price for this one.
My dad opened the door for him and slammed it hard once he left. He came to sit with us and took a deep breath.
Finally, we can have dinner in peace.
Rest of the night, things got better. They were all cheering and laughing again. Uncle Sam's exit gave us all a peculiar relief. My cousin slept in my room.
Yeah.
I was on the bed and
No,
they brought
there
their
was no way
sleeping
that was
bags.
your Uncle Sam.
I
That was
don't
definitely
recall
not
what
Uncle
time it
Sam.
was.
Hey,
I
that was
heard
not
a
Uncle
creak.
Sam.
I opened my eyes and saw my bedroom door slowly opening.
Mom? Is that you?
I got up on the bed, rubbing my sleepy eyes.
Mom?
No answer came. I called again. This time, I saw a head beginning to come out from the gap in the door.
Who is that?
Now there stood a tall man in my room. His eyes glowed in the dark. His sharp white teeth glazed.
Ain't no way his eyes can glow in the dark. I didn't know he was a glow in the dark figure. Man, why, Funko? Why aren't you making no Uncle Sam stuff, huh? Come on, Funko. It's literally in your name, Funko. See what I did there? Like, come on, man. That would be really fun.
Touching the moonlight, it came out from the dark shadows and said in a groggy voice,
Can I have one last hug, Andrew?
He didn't wait for me to reply and came running at me full speed. My scream woke everyone up and my cousins turned on the light. Once they saw Uncle Sam standing near my bed, they got scared too. Uncle Sam turned to leave knowing that he had messed up this time, but my dad blocked his way.
Oh, the parents that beat him. Oh, he got him in a
He
chokehold.
dragged Uncle Sam out of my room and my aunt locked the door from the outside.
Just stay in! And don't scream! Be cool, boys. We're only going to call the cops.
After that,
Oh, they're not calling the cops, man. They're doing more than that. Ain't no way you got him in a full-on chokehold. Like, nah. Also, what you got? Actually, you got the toy soldier pointing a gun at the British soldier, and then you got the American soldier.
we never saw Uncle Sam again. The cops never came to our house asking anything about him. Years later, my dad died. My cousin and I met at his funeral. My aunt has died too by then. Devin then gave me a key saying my aunt wore this like a pendant till the day she died. They have checked everything and the key opens nothing in their house. So that's when I noticed my dad's initials on the key, and it hit me. Dad had a safe in his office. The key to the safe looked exactly like this one, but he said he had lost it and we never got to open that safe. Taking my cousin to my dad's old office, I twisted the key into the safe and it opened with a rusty click. As we opened the door of the safe, our blood froze. There were Uncle Sam's clothes, shoes, and hat wrapped up in plastic. Noah unfolded the clothes to check and ended up dropping them in fear. There were spritz of red dots all over Uncle Sam's belongings.
Do you think our parents?
Devin didn't let him finish and said,
Let's burn these clothes. Now, move.
Dude,
we burnt them in our backyard.
why would you be sad about that? I mean, that was not even Uncle Sam. That was Uncle Dumb. Like, man, you gotta believe it. That was that stuff over there. Then good. I'm glad they did that. In fact, yeah, burn those dang
I don't know
clothes.
what happened to Uncle Sam and I don't want to know, but I sure believe parents can go to any extent to protect their children.
Okay, well,
I
that
stood on
was
the
weird.
sidewalk, my arms crossed as I watched the parade pass by. July 4th wasn't my favorite time of the year, but the festivities always made it a bit better. I'd just finished watching the marching band when I noticed something strange. A man in an Uncle Sam costume was staring at me, directly across from me.
Look at his jaw. Look at that jaw. Look at that. Oh my god, that's part of ripped off skin. You can also see it right there. This is not his
He
actual
seemed
skin.
to be walking along with the parade. He was wearing a full face mask, but I
See what I mean?
could see his eyes and mouth. His eyes were dark and black with white shining highlights, his teeth crooked and yellow, and his top hat was tattered. Still, he glided with the parade as he danced and pirouetted along, ever closer to my side of the street. I felt uneasy but assumed it was just part of the show, and with another performer putting on a dizzying gymnastics show, I quickly forgot about the strange man in the
Okay,
outfit and
real quick, I want to know, why is this the only guy with color? Like, can someone please tell me that? Why is he the only one with color?
clapped with everyone else. Quite the show, isn't it?
Yeah, they really did well this year.
The parade ended shortly after that, and I had already forgotten everything about the man in the Uncle Sam suit. But as I got into my car, I noticed him again, standing off in the distance, watching me. His eyes seemed to pierce through me, and I felt a chill run up my spine. I shrugged it off as mere paranoia and tried to focus on the traffic.
He's just trying to scare
If you've
you.
ever been in traffic directly after a July 4th parade, you'll know the cars are virtually at a standstill. So, when the man began to approach me from a distance, I hurriedly pressed the lock on my doors. And then I pressed it again, making sure all my doors were locked. He was already at my window, tapping at it with a wild grin on his face. I nearly recoiled in disgust, but I managed to compose myself. Maybe he just wanted to ask for money for his performance. I rolled my window down a crack.
Hey baby, I saw you while performing. I was wondering if I could get your number. I couldn't pass up on a cutie like you.
Yeah,
So he a desperate loser. Sorry guys, I remember I gotta give you guys some context. He's a desperate loser.
sure, I guess.
I know that was stupid of me, but I wasn't thinking at that moment. I figured I'd just give him my number and he'd leave me alone. Little did I know that this was a fatal mistake. I drove back home, my mind running a million miles an hour. I was busy with work and I didn't even remember that creepy performer. I'd figured he'd call or text me, I'd ignore his call, and that would be that. The funny thing about phone numbers that I learned afterward, though, is that they can be used to find your address. If someone has their number, all it takes is a reverse search and they can know everything about you. Lying in bed later that night, I was drifting off to sleep when I jolted awake. A loud crashing noise echoed through the house. I figured it was just my cat, but I hoped he hadn't spilled anything. Sighing, I climbed out of bed and walked down the long hallway toward the stairs. As I did, I felt a weird, empty pit in my stomach. I'm not sure why, but I felt like something was wrong. I got goosebumps and a feeling of dread set in. For some reason, I didn't want to see what was down those stairs. Still, I dismissed this feeling as nonsense and rounded the corner. As I did, my heart dropped. The man in the Uncle Sam costume was rummaging through my things, no longer wearing his strange outfit. Still, his black eyes and yellow teeth were unmistakable. Now that he was no longer wearing his mask, I could see his face. I couldn't help it. I let out a scream. His face was mutilated, covered in scars and cuts, his lips hanging off one side of his face.
Oh no, so he definitely a Two-Face.
He fixed his gaze on me and started walking towards me, a menacing look
Take him
in
down
his
the
eyes.
stairs.
Shouldn't have given me your number, baby. Shouldn't have done that.
Get the hell away from me. What do you want?
I want to know you, baby. I'll leave if you can tell me about yourself.
Okay. What do you want to know?
I didn't know what else to do. He was at the top of the stairs next to me now, and he loomed above me.
Oh,
His wild
Dang,
face
he's
was enough to
Slenderman.
make me want to rip away and run. But where would I go? Where could I hide from him? He stared into my eyes and asked me a million questions. He wanted to know where I worked, who my friends were, and what I liked to do. His questions became more intense and demanding. He wanted everything from me.
okay, first off, get your Two-Face out of here. Second of all, brush your teeth. Third of all, stop that. Get your goddamn eyeballs. Keep them off of me. Third and fourth of all, man. Nah, bro, you got the ginger hit. Ain't no way you blonde trying to kill me. Ain't no way, bro. You got the golden hair, bro. You ain't Golden Freddy. You think you golden Two-Face? Like, nah. You ain't scary.
Finally,
I
he
would-
let
I'm
out a
scary.
guttural scream and lunged at me wildly.
You're perfect! Perfect! I need you!
I dodged to the side, but I felt his cold and sweaty grip on my arm. He tried to drag me towards an open window.
No!
I screamed, struggling against his grasp. Suddenly, the sound of sirens filled the air. I saw flashing red and blue lights from the window, and the man must have seen it too. He let go of my wrist, anger spreading over his face.
You're betraying me? You need to love me!
Help! Help me!
I could hear footsteps outside now, and the man wildly grabbed me, holding me close to him desperately.
I'll hurt her! Stay away!
But before he could do anything, the police burst through the door and tackled him to the ground. After he was restrained, they asked me a few questions, and I told them everything. It turns out that after the parade, Robert Crimo, I learned his name when the police took him away, had actually been reported for suspicious behavior. The police had tracked him down using his phone, which he had been using to search for my number and other weird things. The police told me it was lucky that someone else had noticed how weird he was acting. If it wasn't for that, who knows?
Yeah! The guy from the start! I knew he'd be something. I knew he was special. He was the only other person that had color in that whole group. I knew he was special. Baldy with hair. Harry. I'm gonna call you Harry. Harry Osborn.
What might have happened to me. After a few days, the police finally released me and allowed me to go back home. I've been more aware of my surroundings ever since then, and I'm always keeping an eye out for suspicious activity. The weirdest thing about Robert Crimo, however, wasn't his creepiness or even his behavior. The weirdest thing was that he seemed to think I was special or perfect in some way. To this
Nah, the only thing you're perfect about is the fact that you survived this creepy dude. This Slender Man, Two-Face, Golden Freddy ripoff.
day, I still don't understand what he saw in me. But according to the police, it could have been so much worse. According to documents they found on his phone, he had plans to commit atrocities at that parade, and the only thing that changed his mind was me. The 4th of July is a holiday that everyone enjoys. The kids are happy watching the fireworks, and the parents celebrate their independence as America.
Everyone, type in W America. USA. USA. Best country I could ever be in.
Americans.
Sure,
Everyone
we have some
enjoys this
downsides,
holiday
but doesn't have
except
one.
me. I'm
place has
terrified of
downsides.
fireworks. My fear goes back to when I was a kid. It all started when Cody, my neighbor, tried to play a prank on me on the 4th of July.
Oh,
The-
nah, I know we had to be letting him pull a prank on me. Not with that type of face, no. He's got like 3 different chins.
Then teenager stole his father's fireworks, and when he lit the first one, instead of aiming it at the sky, he aimed it at my face. His father saw it and ran to stop him, but it was too late. After that day, my life was ruined forever. Not only did I acquire
If he ever did that to me, nah, if I ever had something like that happen to me, nah, I'm immediately burning his house down. I'll burn your house down. I'm punching you in the face, kicking you. Man, you ain't stopping me.
an intense phobia of fireworks, but I also have scars that will stay with me for the rest of my life. But believe it or not, there was a night even worse than that. The night I almost lost much more than my face. It was the 4th of July. I had just turned 18 and my parents had gone to celebrate the 4th of July with the rest of the family. But I decided to stay because I didn't want...
I'm sorry. Yo, mom's chin got that curve, you know what I mean? It got that curve.
my fear of pyrotechnics to ruin anyone's night. My parents wanted to stay with me, but I convinced them to go. I closed all the doors and windows and put on a movie. I was going to enjoy the night in my own way. I sat down on the couch and began to relax, almost falling asleep, when suddenly a strange noise caught my attention. As soon as I turned around to see where it was coming from, the noise culminated into a huge explosion. I fell to the floor crying and shaking. The explosion made me remember what the sound symbolized. That was a firecracker.
No, firecracker? What happened to the Cracker Jack? You know who that must have been? I only know of one person who would set off a firecracker that loud. Cracker Jack. I remember the name Cracker Jack.
Stunned, I looked up and saw a strange silhouette hiding in the
it's Cracker
kitchen.
Jack.
Was it a child playing a joke on me?
Yes.
I tried to pull myself together and ran to the kitchen, but there was no one there. The kitchen was an enclosed space. The only place to hide was under the tablecloth. Angry, I stomped over with determination and violently pulled the tablecloth off. Under the tablecloth, there was no child. It was a man's face. But to tell the truth,
That is Cracker Jack. I can tell because he's got that in his hand. And also, I remember this suit already.
I didn't get to see it. The only thing I could see at that moment was the firecracker he was pointing at my face, lit. I walked backward and a stumble made me fall. That stumble surely saved me from what was about to happen.
Oh yeah. Sometimes getting injured in one way can save you from dying.
As the firecracker flew right past my face and hit my kitchen, bouncing and exploding all over the place. Stunned, I watched as the
dang,
person
I didn't know Cracker Jack was gay. Why you wearing the full-on, like, Darth Sidious crap, bro? Dang. So what opened your
in
face,
front of me
Cracker
stood
Jack?
up and was shocked. His face, if you could call it that, was full of roughly healed burn wounds. His eyes seemed to protrude, straining out of their sockets. But what struck me the most was that he didn't have a single strand of facial hair.
Who are you? What do you want from me? Don't you recognize me? I'm Cody, your old neighbor.
I was speechless. This man was Cody, the person who burned my face. Since his father threw him out of the house that day, I never knew what happened to him. I heard he was in jail, but I didn't know the details. Cody? What are you doing here?
You see, every 4th of July I think of you. How my life got better because of you. Because I was lost. But now I've found my purpose. You see, I discovered that I love explosions, fire.
Well, I mean, your new name is Cracker Jack after all, so I'm not really surprised that you like firecrackers.
Pyrotechnics, and I recently found out that you're afraid of them. As a reward for opening my eyes, I'll take away your fear of pyrotechnics. You're crazy!
I ran as fast as I could and hid in my bedroom closet. I could hear Cody approaching. His footsteps slowly pounded the wooden stairs of my house. They were getting closer and closer, step by step. Those noises reached my room. I closed my eyes as tight as I could and stopped breathing. I muffled any sign that I was trapped within a few feet of him. With any luck, he would leave and look for me in the bathroom. Suddenly, the footsteps stopped and a terrifying silence took over the room. I couldn't see what was going on outside, but I knew he was there. What was he doing? Why had he stopped? I heard a match flare to life in his hand, and that's when I realized why he had stopped. I covered my mouth and my ears. I knew what was about to happen. The explosions weren't long in coming. This was an explosive firecracker, and not in the shape of a flare.
Oh, so I thought he was gonna pull on a trick where he was gonna try and scare him out of hiding. Because he's scared of the pyrotechnics and stuff like that. Now, me personally, if this ever happened, man, as soon as he throws a firework at me, I'm catching it right in my hand and throwing it right back at him. You like fireworks? Well, taste of your own medicine.
And my whole room shook from the explosion, the force echoing off the walls at a deafening volume. While this was happening, I could only cry. I watched through the holes in the closet as the curtain in my room caught fire and spread to my bed next to it. I wanted to run, to escape from the place right then, but I couldn't. When the blasting sound faded, I heard Cody's footsteps leave the room. I took a deep breath. I was safe. I opened my eyes calmly and calculated my escape route. The place was still on fire. But suddenly, I saw something peeking out of the closet door. It was a firecracker. He knew I was in here. I threw myself down the closet in terror as the firecracker exploded and burned my clothes. The heat in my room was getting...
Okay. One, why you ruining America's favorite day? Second, if you like those so much, and you know that this guy's scared, instead of, trying to commit arson and homicide, instead, what you could have done is just show him that there's nothing to be afraid of. Instead of showing him that yes, there is something to be afraid of. And that is
getting
that
hotter
don't
and
use fireworks
hotter,
in your
and as
house.
I lay on the floor crying harder than ever, Cody looked at me with a
Oh,
huge
he's still in
smile
there.
on his face. Please, don't kill me! Kill you? And why would I do that?
Oh, okay, so he wasn't planning on trying to murder you, he just wanted to show you that you shouldn't be afraid of fireworks. Look, I get what Cody's trying to do here. He's not trying to be evil, he's just trying to show him not to be afraid of fireworks. And maybe it was a mistake. Maybe when he was younger, he might have just made a mistake. Maybe it was too heavy and he accidentally shot it at you, and then he realized that he did like explosions, but he didn't want to kill him, because clearly he just said he's not going to do that. He's just trying to try and not make him afraid of fireworks, but this is clearly not the way to do that.
Don't you want to take revenge on me? Not at all. I told you I'm grateful to you. Grateful that thanks to that night, I learned about my love for this. The intense heat, the lights, the smell of boiling wax, the sweat. This is living. Then let me go and not help you learn to appreciate this blessing? What kind of good Samaritan would that make me? You will learn to love this, whether you want to or not. At that last moment, an energy I didn't know I had flooded my body, and without hesitation...
Uncle Sam is on his side today. No, Uncle Sam saw all this crap unfolding and was like, oh heck nah. Oh heck nah. He was not having any of that with Cracker Jack.
I jumped out the open window and fell into my backyard. The impact was very strong, and my arm dislocated. But I looked up at the fireworks in the sky and realized I was alive. As all the neighbors were coming to my rescue, I looked up and there he was, Cody, watching me from the window
Cracker Jack.
with a huge smile on his face as my house burned to the ground. My parents arrived within minutes and took me to the hospital for some burns in my arm. We all thought Cody had died that day, but the fire department arrived quickly and found no body. Our neighbors had no idea this was happening. They hadn't heard from their son since he was kicked out and cried when they found out what he had become. After that, we moved. The next 4th of July, I spent with my family watching the fireworks. I was no longer...
Uncle Sam was on his side, I'll tell you that. Oh, everyone, that was our 4th of July special. I hope y'all enjoyed. And, hey, type down in those comments, type in USA with an exclamation mark to celebrate America's holiday. And hopefully Uncle Sam has blessed you. Now have a great day and go set off some fireworks at night. Not too late at night though, please. And if you're near my neighborhood, which I doubt you are, but if you are, don't be true loud. My neighbors were already getting way too close to our cars last night. But yeah, like and subscribe, comment down below what I should do next, but also comment down below USA with an exclamation mark, and thank you to our new subscriber. We are at 31. Each day we be getting closer to 50. But yeah, like and subscribe, comment down below USA with an exclamation mark, and I have a happy 4th of July.